Hi everyone, it's Jess, aka Colouring Bumblebee, and I'm back today with another video for you. Today I am going to be participating in the mid-year colouring check-in tag. I've seen a bunch of people creating videos on this already so far for the halfway point of the year. I did this last year. Can't remember who was it started by Sassy Colouring and updated by Kira at A Pictured Purpose, I think. But I have updated the questions for myself as well. So I've got a couple of pages in my colouring journal where I have gone through and written out the questions. Most of them are the same. I've changed a couple because they're not relevant to me and I wanted to add another question in myself. But I'm going to start off with question number 1. How many pages have you coloured so far in 2025? And I have done a whopping 233 pages. I kind of can't believe I've coloured that many. Over 200 in 6 months is kind of crazy. 67 of those were colour by numbers, which means that 166 pages were non-colour by number full page. Takes a long time to complete spreads. So 166 is a big number. I'm not worried about the numbers, but I just find it personally interesting to track them. Question 2, how many books have I coloured in so far in 2025? I've done a total of 86 different books. The way I keep track of that is at the front of my colouring journal. I've got a books coloured in 2025 spread here, where I've got it listed and numbered. And each time when I get to the end of the month or sometimes halfway through, I'll keep on top of it. I have this checkbox to say that I have inputted that page into this chart as well as onto bookshelf. So I have a little tick box for that. So once I've ticked that, it means that I've written Sargon in here. If I've already coloured in it, I'll just do an extra tally and then I can see how many pages I've coloured in each of them as well. And I can see that I've coloured in 86 different books, which is amazing. I think I should have done another double page here because I cut the top of it off. I think I'll have to do a little extra flap at the side of my book to extend this on past this, because I have a feeling I might go beyond the 124 I've listed there. I think last year I coloured in a total of 90 something, so I thought 124 would be enough, but no. It is not. I don't think so anyway. But question 3, go back to this. What book have I coloured the most in for 2025? And that is a two-way tie. Usually I share my most coloured colour by number and my most coloured non-colour by number book because I tend to do a lot on the colour by numbers, but they are exactly tied. I've done 22 pages in tome 11 and 22 pages in 50 mythical miniatures. So let me pop my book to the side. So here is Les Grands Classiques tome 11, and I was colouring in this book a lot at the start of this year specifically. In fact, all 22 of those pages were from, just want to double check, I want to say before April. Yeah, they were from the first quarter of the year. So January, February and March I coloured 22 pages in this book. And that's because once I got to 22 pages, that meant that this book was 50% complete. But I will just flip through and show you all of the pages I've done, commenting on ones I did in 2025. So I did Mirabelle. I did the Ugly Stepsisters from Cinderella. I did the double page Pinocchio. At one point I was trying to do a double page in here each month and then I fell off the wagon a bit. Did this fairy here. This double page spread of Belle. That's 2024. I did both of these from Bolt. this one of the Friar Tuck and other little critters from Robin Hood. I did May from Turning Red. She turned out really fun. I did this double page Wally spread. I did Chicken Little and Carl and Ellie. The double page of Olympus from Hercules. This double page Lady and the Tramp. I did this one. I haven't dated it, but I know that was one of the last pages I did. It's Vladimir from Tangled. Vladimir collects ceramic unicorns. Part of the song. I did both of these, Lotso and the Three Fairies. And I believe that is it. So yeah, 50 pages coloured in this book, 50 left to go. I do need to get back to colouring this because it would be nice to have it as a completed book some point soon. And yeah, this is one of my most coloured books for the start of 2025. And the other book I've coloured the most in is 50 Mythical Miniatures by Camellia Angel Cover. And this is thanks to Melissa at Winter 89 Colours. She has been hosting Project Mythical Minis since the end of last year, and it's with the goal of finishing this book by the end of 2025, and I am nicely on track. I will once again flip through, pointing out the pages I have coloured this year. So I've done the Dragon Castle, the Garden Door, the Dragon, these are all pretty recent, Pegasus. Yeah, this book is now over 50% completed, so that's been really nice. Did the Sea Serpent, the Mandrake, Leprechaun, the Goblin, he's so cute. The Hippocampus, the Aspidoculone, say it confidently and quickly. The Yeti, who's super sparkly. Medusa. The Gargoyle. The Sleipnir. The Nekomata, two-tailed cat. The Sea Goat Capricorn. A Gnome. Fairy, it's got lots of shiny watercolour on her. The Tarrasque, that's one of my most recent ones. Oh, this one, the Rockbird. The Wyvern. And the underwater Atlantis scene. So that is 22 pages out of the 52 in this book. I've got 30 left to colour for the rest of this year, and I think I'm going to do it. So can't wait to finally see that as a completed book, 50 Mythical Miniatures. Bringing back my journal, and question 4 is, what coloured pencil set have you used the most? And I did go through and count a couple of times to double check. And for pencils, it is by far, I believe, the Polychromos at 37 pages, which compared to the fact that I've done 233 pages, doesn't seem like a lot for my most used colour pencil set. But I do like to give other pencil sets a bit of love as well. And then for markers, it's most definitely the Ohuhus. I use them on 97 pages. Basically, I use them to base a lot. I use them in all of my Camellia Angel Cover pages, Cute and Cozy pages, lots of different books I use the Ohuhus for basing. Yeah, so those are my 2 most used supplies. Question 5, what are some of my favourite pages coloured in 2025? I've got a stack of 10 books next to me, so I will go through those now. First up, I have Summer Nights, and this was a page that was coloured in January, and it is this butterfly girl. I love the colour of her hair. I love how the rose gold effect worked on the butterfly. I love all of the silver Signo gel pen. I think it gives it a really nice magical touch. Yeah, I just think this turned out really well and is nice to look back on, and especially next to the pocket watch as well, I think is a lovely double page spread together. So that's my first favourite from Summer Nights. Then I have Year of Witches by Usiku, and this was a project book with Zoe from Zoe's Cozy Colouring. We decided to pause on that and just do a bunch of different buddy colours instead of having a project book. And this was the last page picked. I absolutely love this one. I love the colours, I love the vibrancy, I love the little bees. Yeah, it's one of my favourites that I've done in here, and I have done quite a few in this book, and one of my favourites from the year so far. There is a bit of clear glaze pen on the bees' wings, so they are nice and shiny. Tiny bit of gold accents on some of the girls' outfits. Yeah, that is another favourite from Year of Witches. Then I have Magical Worlds by Johanna Basford, and I actually did this page as a colour along on the channel. It is what I call the Royal Duck page. I just love the colour palette of this. I love the pastel tones I used. I love the blend of the blue in the background. I've used lots of metallic watercolours as well for the stars and on the water. I'm really pleased with how this turned out, and I kind of forgot about this page until I was looking back through all of my completed pages for the year and putting a little star next to all the ones that I think were my favourites. And this one was definitely up there. Makes me want to come back into this book someone soon. That is Magical Worlds. And then I have Oceans to Stars by Lydia Fenwick, and I've only coloured the one page in here so far, and I absolutely love it. It is this super bright page of Aries. I had a lot of fun colouring all of her hair. I really challenged myself to do a dark skin tone. Have this nice bright orange popping in the background. Lots of the super golden markers for the border and all the kind of like jewellery beaded bits on her outfit. I just think she looks amazing, and it has me excited to get another page done in this book, hopefully within the next couple of months. So that is Oceans to Stars. Then I have Lunar Colouring by Stratton Peterson, and this was the first page I actually coloured in this book, and it was the Glimmering Stone, and I'm just so pleased with the results of this. Colouring the daffodils took ages, and I was kind of sick of the colour yellow by the time I finished them, but they turned out really nice and bright and vibrant. The rainbow is always a lot of fun to colour. And then for this large glimmering stone, I just got my pencils lightly coloured, thought it looked awful because it was so bright and kind of messy. So I took my eraser and gently erased on it, and it gave this really nice muted pastel look to it. So yeah, this has made it into my top favourites for the year so far. That is the book Lunar Colouring by Stratton Peterson. Then I've done quite a few in Kawaii Tarot this year. Didn't quite reach the numbers of 22 like the other two books, but I really, really love the page that I did a couple of months back, and this was the Seven of Swords. I just love the colour palette, the pink, purple, yellow, orange, green, and a nice blue background. It turned out exactly how I wanted and imagined it to. I love this page. It's so bright and vibrant, and I think it is standing the test of time as one of my favourites I've ever done in this book, let alone this year. So that is another favourite of mine from Kawaii Tarot. Then I have Dark Fairy Tales by Kirby Rosanis. This is a new book released this year, and my favourite page is this Snow White and Rose Red book page. In fact, picking the whole double page spread as a whole is a favourite because I love how they look next to each other, but this one specifically, I coloured this for Karen at My Colourful Country Life's Kirby Community Collab, which if you haven't checked out the video for that, definitely do go over to her channel. It'll be linked in the description, where she has made a video of everyone's pages they've coloured for this book, front to back, and it's amazing, and it was such an honour to be part of it, and I've really loved the finished result of this page. It's actually my favourite page in the book, so I was a little bit nervous to be colouring it, but I'm so glad I did and just went for it. So that is another favourite in Dark Fairy Tales. Then I've got Mythographic Menagerie. I could have picked every mythographic page I coloured this year as my top 10 favourites, but that would have been a bit boring. But Menagerie was definitely up there with my favourites, and it was this cat trapped in the jar underwater. I remember just really enjoying this page and not having much of an idea of what I wanted to do when I first started out, but finding reference pictures of all the fish and really taking my time blending all the colours together to create these really interesting effects. The calico cat turned out really well. Oh, I love this page. I've got a bit of metallic watercolour in the background and on the bubbles. It just looks so magical and I love it. Just love it. So that is Mythographic Menagerie by Fabiana Attanasio. And I've got Mystic Animals by Stratton Peterson. And this was a very long-term whip that I just completed this last month. And I absolutely adore it. I love the colours, I love the vibrancy, I love all of the shimmery metallic watercolour and the iridescent watercolour I've got on the wings. I just think it looks so special, so magical, and I love the colours. I love this kind of purple and teal combo. I think it works really well, and the background turned out quite nicely. I went for something a little bit different for me, blending the yellow into the blue, but I think it turned out really nice and effectively. So that's Mystic Animals. And then my final favourite is another recent page. It's Mythographic Dragon Spell by Joseph Gattenbang. And it was the page you must have seen a lot recently, as this was part of a big group buddy colour, this skull and bunnies page. For me, it's all about these flowers. I think they turned out so soft and pretty, and I love the contrast of the yellow with the blue. I think the whole page just works so cohesively, and I'm just really proud of how it turned out. So that was my last favourite for the year in Mythographic Dragon Spell. Okay, next we've got question 6. What is your least favourite page coloured so far in 2025? And I picked out 2. When I was flipping through my journal, I was like, yeah, definitely these 2. I wasn't happy with how they turned out. Let me grab them. So first, I have A Million Puppies, and I do like the page, all apart from one thing, and that is the massive bright pink red dog in the centre. It's too much. It's too bright, too vibrant, and just doesn't work for the page. I wanted to have this fun limited pink and green colour palette. I should have just kept it light. Should have kept with the light pink colours, and I think the page would have turned out so much better for it. But you live and you learn. Sometimes you try things and they turn out well. Sometimes you try things and you hate it and never want to see it again. I'm just glad this is at the back of the book, so when I'm flipping through I don't see it every time, or when I'm colouring the page next to it I don't have to see it when I'm colouring the other one. So that is one of my least favourites, A Million Puppies by Lulu Mayo. Then another least favourite was from 50 Mythical Miniatures by Camellia Angel Cova, and it was the Sea Serpent page. I don't hate it, but it didn't turn out like I wanted it to. This belly section is just too bright and almost neon for my liking. I think the body of him is a little bit too muted, and then this is too neon. The colours don't quite work. It didn't turn out like I pictured it in my head. I wanted this nice tealy dragon with a kind of brighter or lighter belly section, and yeah, this just wasn't a favourite of mine this year, but that's okay. Not every page can be a favourite, and you can always just turn the page and move on. So that's 50 mythical miniatures, another one of my least favourites for the year. Okay, question 7. Have I tried any new mediums or colouring techniques this year? So yes, I have used watercolours for the very first time this year. I was kindly sent a set of 24 watercolours from Lightwish. I do have a review of that on my channel. It went up a couple of weeks ago, so check that out if you haven't already. I will show you a couple of pages I have used the watercolours on. So the first page I tested my watercolours on was in Summer Nights, and it was this nice watercolour background. I say nice, I'm not completely happy with it. It did buckle the page a lot, but that was because I was using quite a lot of water and just testing it to its full capabilities. And as it was the last page in the book, I wasn't too worried about ruining what was on the other side. But I like the colours of it, I like the vibrancy, and it was a good first attempt at using watercolours. I do want to try and finish this up sometime soon. That was Summer Nights. And then my first full page using, in fact, first and only full page using watercolours was in Woodland Watercolour, and it was this Woodland Flowers page. I just went to town playing with the watercolours, trying to blend them together. I did have a little bit of a mishap over here. I think I put my hand in the purple whilst it was still wet and it kind of smudged a little bit. But again, it was a good first attempt. I went for this kind of washy, like varying in tone, kind of messy background. And I quite like how it turned out, and it was a good experimentation. And the flowers themselves turned out pretty nice. I like the variation in colours I got, in the leaves especially. I think it turned out quite nicely. And testing out watercolours more this year is something that I definitely need to become braver at, of actually using them in my colouring books. That was Woodland Watercolour by Claire Therese Gray. Okay, question 8. What are some of your favourite books purchased so far in 2025? So I went through and picked just 5. I was trying to be good. And that was Oceans to Stars, Leon's Journey, the Laura Mia colouring book, Dark Fairy Tales, and Mythographic Dragon Spell. So I will give you a quick flip through of each of those now. So we've already seen Oceans to Stars as one of my favourite pages for this year. But this book is just stunning. You've got these portraits of girls, all themed to different zodiac signs. And it goes through the zodiac signs three times each. So you have the stars section, which we just saw. This one is the earth section, which are more larger portraits. And then you have the water section, which are all different mermaids themed to the zodiac signs. And I just think this book is stunning. I cannot wait to see what Lydia Fenwick comes up with next. So that is a favourite book that I have purchased in 2025 so far, Oceans to Stars. Then if I had to pick just one, it would probably be Dark Fairy Tales. This is my favourite book Kirby has ever created. It is so creative for a fairy tale theme, using the dark side of the fairy tales, because the origins of them are pretty dark themselves, let alone the twists he's made on some of them. But there's a lot of like female empowerment in this book, which is really fun, of the female characters or princesses getting their revenge back on the characters and defeating them, sort of thing. But I just think this book is stunning, and one that I am looking forward to colouring more and more in throughout the rest of 2025 and into future years. It is a book I would like to see completed one day. That would be in the very distant future, though. I've done that Rapunzel page as well. So yeah, that is another favourite released so far this year, Dark Fairy Tales by Kirby Rosanes. Then I have Leon's Journey by Kanoko Wagusa. Again, what an amazing book. I had been keeping my eye on the updates of this book on Kanoko Wagusa's Instagram page for months now, and she was sharing what percentage complete it was of her doing all the drawings for it. And I love how in this book there's a subtle story running throughout of the cat Leon, who lives in the country and one day finds this cat Lily along with a couple of dogs and an owl, and they fall in love as friends, but she gets taken away back to her home in the countryside. Not the countryside, in the city, and he goes on this journey to go find her again. Yeah, I've only done the one page so far, and it was right at the start, all of the character profiles here. So there's Leon, there's Lily, the two dogs Latte and Mocha, and the owl Baron. Yeah, I just think this book is stunning, and again, Kanoko Wagusa's best work to date in my opinion. So that is Leon's Journey. Then I have the Laura Mia colouring book. This is by Eerie, and I have done a translated flip through and printed out a document translating all of these bits of information in the back of the book, which is available on my Ko-Fi. I have done this page so far, and this book came out of nowhere. I hadn't heard from Eerie in a while, and then suddenly this popped up on Amazon Japan, and I thought, yeah, let's get it. When I got Leon's Journey, I popped this into my cart as well. And it's so different to our other books. It's in a different format. It's very detailed, but still has same whimsical art style made with a toothpick. And just, again, there's a subtle story running throughout, information about each of the pages in the back of the book. I think it's just amazing. So that is Laura Mia colouring book by Eerie. And then I have Mythographic Dragon Spell. I'm sure if you asked a lot of people in the colouring community what their favourite book released of 2025 so far is, this would be near the top of their lists as well. I love it so much that I have joined a group project book where we're colouring a page in here every month. You've already seen the page that I've coloured in this, but it is absolutely stunning and so creative. Joseph Cattenbang always hits it out the park, and this one I think especially. Even though it's got quite a narrow theme of dragons, there's such variety between each of the pages, which is something that I definitely enjoy with a colouring book, is good variety. So that is Mythographic Dragon Spell by Joseph Cattenbang. Okay, next question is question number 9. What are your most anticipated colouring book releases for the rest of 2025? Obviously, I've got nothing to show for you for these because they haven't released yet, but I will pop pictures on the screen of the books now. So I've got Spooky, The Adventures of Witch Cat by Sarah Shevchik. This is a second book released by Sarah. She released the first one, Spooky, I think last year or 2023. It was a couple of years ago now, I think. Quite a while ago. So it's great to finally see another book, colouring book by her. I'm sure it's going to be just as beautiful. And I love the look of the cover as well. Then I've got Lulu Mayo's House of Wonder. I am expecting to receive that very soon. In fact, probably by the time this video is up, I will have already received it. But as it was releasing in July, I thought I would include this in my anticipated releases for the second half of 2025, as it would have felt wrong not to include her. Then I've got Halloween by Hannah Carlson. I absolutely loved her book from last year, the Christmas one, God Yule, and I think Hannah Carlson colours, or not colours, illustrates Halloween themed pages so beautifully. I love her witches books, and I'm expecting lots of witches in the Halloween book. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to colour. Then I have Arstida by Maria Troll, which is translated to seasons. And I love a book that goes through the 4 seasons of the year, and Maria Troll has been creating some amazing books the last few years. She has really sort of gone up there in my ranks of artists, so I'm really looking forward to that one. If I had to include a bonus one, it would also be her Christmas book that's coming out soon, but I am more excited by the seasons one than the Christmas, but they're both going to be gorgeous. And the final one I have on this list is the Lunar colouring book. That is by Lydia Fenwick. I haven't seen any images from inside the book yet, but the cover sounds promising, and from the description of it, it sounds like it's going to be focused on the Chinese zodiac animals. So I don't know if it will be split into different sections like the zodiac one was, or if it will be something a little bit different. So I cannot wait to see more information about Lydia Fenwick's newest book. Okay, question 10. What colouring supplies are at the top of your wish list? So definitely at the top for pencils, I've got the Dermot Chroma Flows. I keep hearing great things about them. All I'm doing is waiting for the price to drop on Amazon, because they dropped fairly recently and I didn't pick them up when I should have. And I was kind of gutted. They were down to like £80 or £90 for the 150 sets. So I definitely have my eye on Amazon for them to reduce in price again. And then I'm also interested in the Paul Rubens metallic watercolours. Specifically, I love all of the like pastel colours in the set. I feel like when I'm using my metallic watercolours, sometimes I'm missing those nice pastel pinks, blues, greens, purples. It's something that I feel like I'm lacking at the moment. So I've got my eye on them. I may treat them to myself soon with some of my money that I've received from the channel. But yeah, those are my 2 supplies currently at the top of my list. Number 11, what colouring books do you want to finish, and do you think you will finish any in 2025? So I have already shown you 50 mythical miniatures. I have coloured a total of 30 out of the 52 pages. I think I said it wrong earlier. I think I said I had 30 left. No, I have coloured 30. I've got 22 left. So considering I coloured 22 at the start of the first half of the year, I am certainly able to finish it by the end of the year. So I'm on track to finish 50 mythical miniatures by the end of this year. I've also got another 2 books that were in my 5 to hopefully complete one day, and that's Kawaii Tarot and Cottage Friends. I've done 22 out of 78 pages in Kawaii Tarot. 78 seems like a lot because I count each of the smaller cards as 1 page, but I'm hoping to try and set myself up to a position where I could maybe finish it at the end of 2026, and the same for Cottage Friends. So I will grab both of those books. We've already looked through 50 mythical miniatures, so we're not going to do that again, but I'll grab Kawaii Tarot and Cottage Friends. So here is Kawaii Tarot colouring book by Lulu Mayo. And as I said just now, I count each of these tarot cards as 1 page, which is why I have 78 as my total. And I have been going through the first half of the images, the Major Arcana set, in order. So I started with the Fool, done the Magician, the High Priestess, the Empress, the Emperor, the Hierophant, that was from this year, the Lovers, that was this year as well, and the Chariot. And then in terms of these Major Arcana cards, how many have I got left to do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So if I get 2 more of them done this year, then next year I would just have to do one of these Major Arcana ones a month, which seems pretty reasonable and achievable. So yeah, I haven't quite been inspired by what colour palette I want to do for strength yet, which is why I haven't come across to doing it yet. But moving on to the minor arcana cards, and for all of these I've been doing them as buddy colours, and that will be something that I want to continue for the rest of the book. I will point out the ones that I have coloured this year. So yeah, I've been trying to do at least one from these a month. So I've done the 4 of coins, and this book is great for my Lulumo scavenger hunt challenge. Lots of prompts appear in this book. I think this book's going to look so fun when it's all completed. I've just recently done the 2 of cups. And I've done the 10 of cups, that was in May. I've done this full double page spread. It's so nice to see all of the cards done in a 2-page spread. I've done the Ace of Swords, 2 of Swords and 3 of Swords. And these all use similar colour palettes throughout them. Some of them, like these two, both have blue in. This one doesn't have any blue in. This one's got more of a focus on the yellow, more on the blue, more on the yellow again. Yeah, I just tried to spread them out in different ways. I think it worked really nicely. And I've done the 7 of Swords, one of my favourites that I've coloured this year, as I showed you earlier. And I've done the 9 of Swords. I believe, yep, that is it from this year. So I've done 22 pages so far in this book out of 78. So, I don't know, I've got a goal of trying to get to 38 maybe, to have then 40 pages left for the rest of the year, left to complete for next year is what I mean to say. But yeah, this book is filling up slowly, and I am looking forward to seeing it completed one day in the near future. That's Kawaii Tarot. And the other book I have is Cottage Friends. I've only done 7 in this, but this is one which is split into different seasons. So there are 10 pages per season, and I've got them flagged here. So this is the spring one. I've done this page this year. And what I would like to do is have 4 pages done at least in each of the seasonal sections, so that next year I could do 2 a month from each of the season section, and that would be the book completed. I've done this one this year, but these pages are super cute, reasonably quick and easy to do. I'm colouring this one this month. I've done this one and this one, that was last month. So if I get one more done in the summer section, that will be my quota of 4 for the year. I've only done 1 so far in the autumn section, and the same in the winter as well. That page was from last year though, the autumn one. I love that one with the mushrooms. So yeah, I did this one last year. And then this is the winter section. So there are some nice Christmassy themed ones that I didn't get around to doing any Christmassy themed ones last year, so I'll try and get at least one done this year. But they're not all Christmas themed, lots of them are just generic winter themed. I did this one in January. It's got lots of sparkle. And that's the last page of the book. So I think, again, this is quite a realistic goal to aim to try and finish this by the end of 2026. Not this year, but next year. So that's Cottage Friends by Jeanette Veronica. Okay, next question. We have question 12. What uncoloured books do you want to colour in by the end of the year? And I've got a list of 6 here, and I have taken these from the goals page I set at the start of the year, where I had 10 books I want to touch in by the end of the year. One of them I've actually destashed, which was the Green Witches colouring book, so I have replaced that. But I will go through the other 6 books that I want to try and get a page coloured in by the end of the year. So first up I have Small World Colouring. This is by Ursula Schwab, and I have a buddy colour in this book planned to do for July, so hopefully that will mean this book is coloured in by the end of the year, in fact by the end of the month. But this is full of these really fun kind of Where's Wally style pages with lots of details and different characters in them. I just think this book is so much fun. I have started this butterfly garden page, never finished it. But I love all these ones with the animals, they're super cute. Oh, look at that one with all of the woodland animals, so pretty. Yeah, I am looking forward to finally getting my first page coloured in this book very soon. That is the Small World colouring book by Ursula Schwab. Then I have Goddess Colouring by Anna Jaren, and this is one of the books from the publishing company Lom Art, who also do the Stratton Peterson books. They did the tarot colouring book. I've coloured in Anna's previous book, the Zodiac one, and I really want to colour in this Goddess one. Hopefully soon. I think maybe I will try and get to this in the autumn season, in Q3, because I've already got a few books planned for Q2. No, Q3 is what we're going into. I've already got a few books planned for Q3, so this will probably be Q4. One of my favourite pages in here is a very wintry page. This one, I love it. So that could be a good option to do in the last quarter of the year. That's Goddess Colouring by Anna Jaren. Then I have the Forest Girl colouring book by April, and this is so beautiful. You've got a small image on the left hand side and a large image on the right for you to colour in. You can copy the colours, you can change them. I mean, it's your colouring book, you can do whatever you like to it. And I haven't quite had the courage or the bravery yet to colour my first page. This did get randomised a few months back, but I have since changed it, so I am doing a seasonal randomiser video rather than a monthly one, and already I am noticing the difference in me being able to get to more books in the list than I had previously. So again, maybe this will get randomised for autumn or winter, and I will colour a page then. So many gorgeous ones, and it's quite a seasonal book as well. So that is the Forest Girl colouring book by April. Then I have Wildflower Folk by Christine Caron. I do have a page planned as a buddy colour in this book for July, so I will be finally getting started in this gorgeous book. You may have wondered why I didn't put Wondrous Folk in my most anticipated books, and I don't know, it just felt wrong to put it in there if I haven't even coloured in this book. So I do want to get the new Wondrous Folk, but I want to colour 1, 2, maybe 3 pages in here before I get that book. Otherwise, what's the point? There's so many beautiful pages in here to colour and I haven't done any. But yeah, I will be getting to it soon, and I cannot wait to finally have this book coloured in my collection. That is Wildflower Folk by Christine Caron. Then I have Magical Creatures and Mythical Beasts. These are illustrations by Fabiana Attanasio, and this was a bargain I found in a shop in the works, and unfortunately it seems to be that was the only place you could even find it. I tried looking for the ISBN, tried looking at different name titles for it, could not find it anywhere else online other than the shop The Works in the UK. But I think this book is gorgeous. These double page spreads of all these magical creatures, so many beautiful pages. I kind of want to use Inktense in this because you've got some quite large spaces. Again, this book was randomised recently and I just ran out of time in the month and didn't get round to it. But maybe in Q4 I will get round to colouring something in this beautiful book. That is Magical Creatures and Mythical Beasts. And the final book on my list is Colours Make You Happy Volume 2 by Miki Takai. And this book was randomised for me in my summer randomiser video. You've got these really cute zodiac images at the back of the book, and then the rest are fairy tale inspired. So you've got all these different fairy tales represented in this book. And I'm kind of waiting for one to inspire me from Geordie Colours hashtag Colour the Fairy Tales. There's some older ones that she's already done, but I never coloured a page for, so this book was randomised and I'm hoping to get it coloured in August. So that would mean another book, Untouched, that's on my Untouched list that gets coloured by the end of the year. So that's Colours Make You Happy Volume 2 by Miki Takai. Okay, moving on. Question 13. What are some new favourite colouring channels to you in 2025? So I went back on my list of subscribed channels and looked at the ones that I subscribed in at the start of this year. And these were the ones that came up. And I love watching them all. There's so many other YouTubers out there, and I'm sure I'm missing some off this list, but these are the ones that I've subscribed to this year. So I've got Told You Would Colours, Colouring with Lil, Zuvira Art, Lauren Reed Colour, and Polly Puts the Colour On. I really enjoy all of these channels, and if you haven't checked them out, definitely do. I will of course have their channels linked in the description, and give them some love. Question 14. Are you on track or have you completed any goals you set at the start of the year? So I had 4 goals I set at the start of the year. I do have it in a spread here. So here are my goals, and I was almost successful with them. The one I wasn't was colour 1 double page a month. I did not do that at all. I have coloured 1 double page in total for the first half of the year, so that was a failed goal. But have less than 25% untouched books. That is a big tick because I got to 24.1% of my collection is untouched. So I'm super happy about that. I did start YouTube memberships with my full book colour along in Sargon. Really happy to do that. And I want to put a massive thank you to all of my members. There are 26 of you as of recording this video, and I'm so thankful for you all and the love and support that you give me. It's not an expectation, but it is a lovely bonus. And the final goal I had was finish the year with fewer whips than what I started with, and I'm on track. I started the year with 93 whips, and I'm now got 82. So I'm pretty pleased with that. Which moves us on to question 15. What colouring goals do I have for the rest of the year? So the first one is to actually colour 1 double page a month. I do have a double page that I'm working on at the moment that I will be finishing for July. I think I've got another one planned that I'm thinking of finishing in August, and I have an idea of what I want to do for September. So that just leaves 3 more months of double pages, and hopefully now that I've got the momentum running, I will be able to continue with that goal and actually get at least 1 done each month. I would like to finish 50 mythical miniatures by the end of the year. That's a nice, exciting goal that I can't wait to achieve. I would love to have less than 10% untouched books. It took me a long time to get to less than 25%, so to get to less than 10%, that's going to be a real challenge. Let me go back on my... Yeah, I've got 55 untouched books. So to get to less than 10%, that would mean I'd have to get to around 20 something. At the moment, with how many books I've got in my collection, it would have to be around 20 untouched books. So that's another 30, which is possible. I could do it, and it's a goal. If I achieve it, amazing. If I don't, that's okay. I can roll it over to 2026. My next goal is to start doing some live streams. It's something I've been thinking about for ages. And the same with YouTube memberships. It was something I was thinking about for ages, but until I wrote it down as a goal, I didn't actually get started on completing it. So live streams, I'm hoping to start very soon in the next few weeks. I need to kind of sort out my equipment and schedule and what I want to do, but be on the lookout on my channel for a live stream soon. And the final one I have is continuing on from the goal I set at the start of the year, finish the year with fewer whips. I've been completing a fair few each month. I have a list of whips here. I did 12 in Q1, 8 in Q2, so that's 20. I do need to make some more effort, but I'm creating a lot fewer whips, which is a great thing. Since the start of 2025, I've only made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 whips added on to the 93 that I had from before 2025. So I'm doing a lot better with whips. I am feeling a lot more inspired to finish a page when I start it rather than start it, abandon it and leave it for months on end. I actually want to finish it. The only time I seem to be leaving whips for a long time is if they're a specific seasonal page and it gets to out of that season and I'm not feeling inspired by it anymore. Then it goes on to my long-term whips, but I don't mind that. I don't mind keeping a whip that's a seasonal page that I want to colour in that season. That's okay for me. It's these other ones where it's, oh, just finish it already. But I'm getting a little bit better at that now and trying to focus on them a little bit more. But there we have it. Those are all of the questions for my mid-year colouring check-in tag. If you would like to use those same 15 questions that I did, I will have them listed in the description below, and feel free to answer them yourself and tag me in your video. This is an open tag, anyone can join, and I look forward to seeing what other people create from now on. So thanks so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye everyone.